I get the feeling folk are preparing to leave.
Red McWraith. I didn't expect you back.
I'm working my way back to New Eden Town.
There, you're on your own.
Do you wish to talk about what happened with the beast?
You killed my sister. I have nothing more to say to you.
I'm sorry for your loss. Thick-Skin hired me to rid the forest of the beast. It was a haunting. I resolved it.
Your work presents you with ill-starred choices. I hope they weigh heavy.
They do. More than you could know.
Thank you for your honesty, Red McWraith. I believe you.
What's new around here?
I have no time for gossip.
Now that you're in charge, what's the plan?
We finish what we started. We find the strength to leave New Eden forever. But not yet. They still have too much fear in their hearts, and not enough hope.
The region is still dangerous. They may never find the courage they need to leave it.
How fare the people round here?
All seem well by Jacob Lind, who was recently returned from the wild.
What's wrong with him?
I find it hard to credit, and you may disbelieve it too, but Jacob Lind believes he is a wolf.
I'm sorry to bring this up, but your sister owed me money.
So?
I did my part. As the new leader of the camp, the debt falls on you.
Let me be sure I understand. You killed my sister, and now you're asking me for payment.
Whoa, when you put it like that... Never mind, forget it.
I'll try.
I'm trying to track someone down, and I was hoping you could help me.
I doubt I'll be much use, but I'll help you if I can.
So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You're tenacious, I'll give you that. But must you push so?
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
Pennington had a daughter, and you knew her.
I knew her, but not well. Deborah had her in the school and spoke of her from time to time. Shy as a porcupine and twice as prickly, as I recall.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
What did Grace look like?
I remember her thin and boyish, encumbered by dresses she hated to wear.
That sounds like Seeker.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done?
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
Goodbye to you for now, Kate.
just our luck that when we need Seeker the most, she disappears.
I still don't understand why the ritual failed.
Let's just find the hut. Folk look well. Maybe they'll settle here.
Are you still here?
Why, you're welcome. It's an honor to help you out. No thanks necessary.
Spare me your humour, soldier.
What do you know of a young woman named Grace?
I don't know where you heard that name, Banisher. But you should not say it again.
It's important. Else I wouldn't ask.
I owe you, Banisher. And I believe your word is good, but I cannot help you.
I read the name on a letter. It was a very interesting missive. According to this letter, what happened to Grace was entirely your fault.
No! The fault was hers. She was stubborn.
The letter told quite the tale. I'd like to hear your side of it.
I have heard tell, sir, of the contumacious Scots, and I did not hear wrong. You are indeed relentlessly, perversely, bloody-mindedly obstinate.
Why the mystery?
A stubborn and difficult child. Always quick to disobey. Especially when the orders were mine. Never understood her antagonism or hostility. A sheer bloody-minded antipathy. She didn't get it from her mother. Now I have no daughter, and it is all the better for all concerned.
The letter was clear. You're to blame for what happened to her.
She has no one to blame but herself. I tried to prevent it. She would not listen. I hurt her. That, sir, is laughable. I worked hard to make up for her mistakes, so she would not pay the price for them.
Whatever you did seems to have made things worse.
I stood firm. That, sir, is what must be done, and that, sir, is what I do. I stand firm.
Want to tell me what happened?
If you must know it, I sent her away. I exiled her.
Why? Why would you do that?
She left me with no choice. I caught her in an act of sin. I caught her reading, studying. Witchcraft, sir. I caught her studying witchcraft. There was a book. I don't know where it came from, and damned if I could get rid of it, but she would not put it down. Not even after I forbade it.
Now, why does Lammy Haskell suddenly spring to mind? And Deborah, too.
Though Deborah was innocent, you accused her of witchcraft. Do you deny it?
Deny it? I claim it. By law, she was no witch. But neither was she innocent. She was poison, a ruiner of children. She corrupted my grace. I am a much changed man with the intervening years. Looking back, with the benefit of experience, I was entirely right, and would not change a thing.
If I came to learn your daughter survived, if I knew where she was...
No, I'd have nothing to say to her. For me and all who know me, Grace Pennington is long dead. You wanted answers. Now you have them. And there are no more.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Have some of that.
Symbols. The hut may be near. I sense magic. Could Seeker be here?
Faded with age. Hard to know what it was for. Can I tell my arse from my elbow?
can't be a coincidence. Could Grace be Seeker? Dusty. Seeker hasn't been here for a long time.
Anyone home? Quite the fall from grace.
That's not funny, and neither is this.
Aye, fair enough. Fine wardrobe for a youngster.
They're rags.
And they won't help us find her. Aye. Deborah knew about this place.
Focus on the matter at hand, Red.
I am.
More demonology. Unusual for a witch. These two schools of magic don't usually see eye to eye. Perhaps Lammy could help us with the spell. Same circle as the one on the entrance. But I don't know the symbol. I don't know it, but I think Lammy might. Seeker drew this. Wait, we've seen this before. In the mountains, behind a magic door. And the circle is, somehow, the key. We did well to come here. Now we know where she's hiding. Soon we'll be able to use the pond. All we need is the key to the dissimulation spell. And Lammy Haskell will help us with that.
Aye, sure.
Whatever it is, out with it.
Now what I say is worth listening to.
Only when it doesn't slow us down.
You're in an awful hurry. It's as if you can't wait to leave.
It's not like that. It's complicated.
Aye, all right. I believe you.
No governor, no meeting house. And it seems, no faith.
We need to make a name and think about speech.
Well, ho there. What a pleasant surprise. I was fair and sure that I'd never see you again.
Where are you off to?
Far away, God willing. Build bridges, say the wise, that people may better understand each other. Build a jetty, say I, so that a ship may come and we can leave. New Eden is a fascinating study for you and I. But for ordinary folk, it is, as I've heard it put, a shithole.
Leaving sounds right to me, if these people learn from their mistakes.
They repent, Mistress Duarte. A new start elsewhere, away from the place in which they sinned, will do them good.
Spoken like a leader.
I fear, however, that not everyone shall listen. I fear what shall befall them if they stay behind.
So, Lammy, what's the word around here?
What do you wish to know?
Tell me about the settlers. Anything strange to mention? Stranger than usual, I mean.
Folk have been quite lovely as it happens. Each tries to do their best and spirits are high. Thinking about it, that's actually really strange. Really strange indeed.
How fares New Eden and the Harrows?
It's not easy. I don't have my father's authority and people fear evil more than ever.
What about you, Lammy? How are you?
I'm well. Or as well as I could wish for. But I still have questions for you, mistress.
We have time for one or two.
I've seen how you move. Do time and space work differently for you?
Not so much when I'm with the living. But yes, they're different.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
And what do you miss from being alive?
A big question. Too big to answer. Where would I start? I miss all of it.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Did you see God? Have you met angels? What about demons? Who's in charge in the afterlife?
I'm afraid I have no answer for you.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Do you feel pain?
Not physically. I feel anguish. The memory of pain sometimes.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Do you control how you appear to the living? How do you do that?
Some can see me with no effort. To others, it's a choice I make. It's effortless, as easy as opening my mouth to speak.
May I ask another?
Let's leave it there.
We found a page ripped from a book. Yeah, do you recognize it?
Let me see. Is this from the Trismegistus riddles? Yes, it seems to be. Why would you bring me one mildewed page from an amusing but harmless little book?
Why would you fail to disclose that you'd given another ritual to another friend?
It was a long time ago. I said after Caleb I'd distribute no more rituals, and that's what I've done. Not done.
We know. But we're looking for Grace Pennington now, and we were hoping you'd help us find her.
Who?
Really, boy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mistress Antea. You said Grace's name, and it is my reflex to protect her.
When was the last time you saw Grace Pennington?
It had to be a few days after I brought her the cloaking ritual. When I returned to visit, the hut had disappeared. Which makes sense now that I think of it.
That's it? You never again tried to find your best friend, your only friend.
Well, you see, some weeks later the first whispers of witchcraft started to fly about town. I kept my head down and Grace was better off out of it. I was right. And I'm glad she escaped. Strange to think of her again after so long.
Ever heard of someone named Seeker?
Seeker? No. Sounds like a title, like my True Pursuer. This Seeker... Is she Grace? Is she alive? Do you know where she is?
We think she's Grace. We hope she's still alive. We're trying to find her.
We think she's hidden herself away behind your dissimulation spell.
Then you'll need to unravel it. Shouldn't be too difficult once you're armed with the salient facts.
How does the ritual work?
It creates illusions so effective that they deceive even the keenest eye. There are more effective cloaking spells, but the Trismegistus riddles do have a simple elegance.
The short version, please, ending with how we break it.
Yes, of course. To achieve that, all you need is the caster's full name and the symbol used to make fast the illusion.
Grace Pennington and a triangle pointing downwards.
Well then, now all you need is a simple counterspell from the same book and... Oh my.
What now?
I'm afraid I left my copy in the Araloo. In the void.
That's just great. Just great.
Yes, but in my defense, once you've retrieved the book, dispelling Grace's illusion will be like a walk in the park. Comparatively speaking.
Thank you for your help.
Could you tell Grace that I'm still her friend? I'd be glad to see her again.
Once we found her, we'll be glad to tell her.
As a community and as individuals,
We can do better. I can do better.
Come on then. Talk to me. Don't hold back.
I haunt you as a ghost, and you act as though that's normal. I'm dead, and I'm not all right. I'm not all right at all, but you pretend not to see it. That makes me angry. And it makes me sad.
I never wanted that.
I know, but it still felt that way. These stains block the way through, like a thick web. No time to lose.
couldn't talk about it.
Couldn't talk about what?
You accused me of pretending not to see that you're dead.
That's how I feel, Red. You have to accept it.
I couldn't face your death. I admit that. I rely on you. Your presence reassures me. I dread your absence. I can barely bring myself to think about it. I don't wish to deny your pain. No. I'm just trying to deal with mine.
Wow. That's... I hadn't thought of it that way. Thank you for your honesty. Think you could take on a ghost?
Fear the Banishers. Our book isn't here.
Our book might be up there.
I might need some help.
I might be able to give it. The spot has to be close.
This looks like Lami's stuff. Only more scattered.
Even with the void shifting, the book should be around here somewhere.
Got it. That seemed a little too easy.
We have the symbol we need. Let's go back to the mountain and find her hiding place.
Did you hear that?
First things first, Red. Running away, are we?
Reinforcements! Reinforcements! Bending the rules, are we? What does that thing have? Playing here, are we?
Did we miss a few? Dodge it if you can. Thank me later.
Bust!
This is it. Seeker is behind this wall. Let the veil of unknowing be lifted. Let us see through the eyes of Grace Pennington.
Ceridian?
You're surprisingly slow, even for a Banisher. You're late. Or early.
At last we find you.
Missed me that much, did you? You could have hurried. You always think you have more time, and suddenly you don't.
It wasn't in vain. We have come far and learned much.
I hope so. But don't think you have it all figured out. You're still Banishers, after all.
We are indeed, Grace.
So, you know.
I know you're Pennington's daughter. Still, can I see the family resemblance?
In the end, neither could he.
It must have hurt.
The dear captain is many things, but he is a Puritan through and through. And I, his daughter, am a witch. I defied him. I sought forbidden knowledge and stepped beyond the boundaries. At the end of that most painful of journeys, Grace was dead. And Seeker was born. Yes, it hurt, but it was worth it. I accept it now. I accept it all. Ceridian has left a hollow, and I am called to fill it. I accept. I am ready for my role in this world. Are you ready for yours?
We looked for you everywhere. Why did you leave the Maya marshes?
I needed time, silence, my own space.
Hidden away behind Lammy Haskell's dissimulation spell.
Ah, you know about that. It held a full 7 years. Isn't that impressive? This is the place where I embrace solitude. This is where I made it a strength.
Did Ceridian find you here?
Not physically. I dreamed of her. I dreamed of the Maya marshes. So, I went there. And I found the island.
Quite the thing. Meet your dream in person.
I suppose so. At the time, I was more focused on the fun I'd had getting to the island.
Also,
Our first dance. I admit I ran away. But we have danced many times since then. Old Mossad, Ceridian and me.
You learned magic by yourself.
Not really. Not at all. First, Lammy Haskell's forbidden books told me that magic was real. They say you must look out for the quiet kids. And that was me and Lammy. Reading those books opened my eyes to worlds of wonder. But I did not learn witchcraft until Ceridian found me. Lammy showed me the view from the prison window, but my mistress walked me right out the door.
Lammy was relieved to hear you're well.
he talked about paying you a visit.
When I was exiled, he was the only one who'd help. Sweet boy. But now is not the time for visitors. Later, perhaps. Later, when you have lifted the curse.
The boy will be disappointed. He has a thing for witchery. The time has come for us to go back to New Eden and face the nightmare.
Yes. Balance must be restored. You must face your fate and end the curse.
Ceridian said the only way back was through the void. But the pond seems broken. We need your help.
Of course you do.
We're listening.
Remember Ceridian's words. If you were to defeat the nightmare, your hearts must be open to each other. No barriers. Your bond must be strong.
We've never been stronger.
This void breach is not like the others. This one leaks. This one sits at the rotten core of the entire region. You must leave whatever still burns in your hearts at the threshold. If you don't, the void will kill you.
Do you know where in New Eden town the void shall lead us?
The trick is to focus on your happiest memories and let them take you there. At least that's how it's always worked for me.
We'll try.
And when at last you succeed, I too shall return to New Eden town. I shall see you there.
And with that, we'll take our leave.
Bring peace to this troubled land and your troubled hearts, my friends. I know it's not easy to hear, especially when it's me saying it.
On the contrary.
Thank you, Seeker. We'll do our best. She's the custodian now. May she have all the wisdom of her mentor, and more.
I wish I had half the wisdom of mine.
You're not as stupid as you sound. You'll be fine.